Josh here with another MusicMaker guitar video. Welcome back to another Technique Tuesday. I'm here just playing my Squier Tele Strat. Not to give too much away, but I just really want to play this guitar stock as much as possible before anything happens to it. Anyways, I'm just making some changes in my technique this week. So, you'll see maybe one or two similarities, but I'm making some big changes to those similarities. And here they are. Here's my thing for the week. It's a little sloppy, so I apologize for that, and I'll go through it. But there is the list. As always, my fingerboard exercises are on there. I do keep the warm-ups the very same, but this time instead of doing like metronome exercises on the finger exercises, I'm shifting over into just some regular scale shapes. It's basic review, but just doing it with some different rhythms to keep myself fresh. Keeping these spread boys and arpeggio trees, but instead of doing them like an exercise, I've been doing them like an exercise for a really long time to try and just get my speed and my clarity up. So now that I feel a little bit better about that than I did, I'm going to start just kind of shedding these over tunes. So instead of like doing everything in the key of C, I might do all like my 7th arpeggios from the 7th degree all the way through a chord shape. So it's kind of what I was doing in the opening here. I was just kind of playing arpeggio shapes, and I was actually practicing maybe quadrants a little bit, and kind of trying to keep myself here, which is a little bit of a different placement than I'm usually used to soloing over, some changes. So in the key of G, that's like from the 3rd. I think as a guitar player and sometimes bass player, I tend to think a lot from the root in the 5th, not so much from the 3rd and the 7th. Even though those are my most melodic notes, it's just like kind of that's where my arpeggios tend to lie. So I want to, change up my playing, advance it a little bit, make myself more comfortable everywhere. That said, I'm pretty able to hear things pretty easily, so these adjustments are really easy for me to make, and it's really fun. Just shifting from like doing it as an exercise to doing it as an exercise with a song is really, really kind of an important functional change. Keeping 3-note per string pentatonics, I'm doing kind of circle of 5ths with that still, because I did circle of 4ths like a lot, and 5ths not so much. Sabacus is up to 108, that's a success week for me, because I was only about at 90 last week. And then the blues and reading, blues stays the same. That's like always a phrasing exercise, but I might do some more like complex blueses with some like different jazz changes in them, and throw some like real book changes. All right, yeah. One other thing that I'm doing, it's a good Berklee story, is I'm reading out of this book. This was a required course at Berklee. Reading. It was just a reading course. I think it was called Contemporary Reading 101 or something like that, with Tom Shimshak, who is the writer of this book. He's an extremely nice guy. And what was really cool about the class was they go in and they make you read. And for me, I had read like a little bit, but nothing like super, super difficult in terms of maybe like climbing up the fretboard for reading. By the time I got there, I was just really kind of like reading in open position stuff. And when I got in the class, being like typical college guitar kid, I never practiced the assigned reading assignments. But because I was familiar with like rhythm reading and with sight singing really well, and because I had good ear training, I found that I could kind of like get away with not practicing and going to class. This is bad of me, but really the main reason I ended up doing it was because I realized after like maybe 2 weeks in that I could read sight reading about as good as the rest of the class could like read something after practicing it for a week. That goes to show you how bad most guitar players are at reading. But anyways, the moral of the story is you probably shouldn't do that. But I got away with it because I had done some of the prep work leading up. And now I have this really amazing book that I can sight read from. Like, I don't remember any of the stuff from this book. So I was kind of digging around and I found this book, and I have this whole really difficult sight reading book to kind of go through some stuff with. So thank you, Tom Shimshak, for making me take your class, because now I get to retake it and take it a little bit more seriously. So anyways, thank you again, Berkeley Anywhere. That's going to be all for this Technique Tuesday. But yeah, I would encourage you, and the reason I do these is to encourage other players out there to come up with lists and challenge yourself. I think there's so much music out there, it's really impossible to master it all. So it's really important to not get like stuck in your own lane for too long, because you get better by branching out. Not that you have to like play all of those kinds of music that you branch out to, but I think that branching out to them makes what you do in your style much stronger, because you have a deeper understanding of music in general, and you can use that to your advantage. So anyways, go ahead, make your own lists. If you have lists that are inspired by this, please share. I'd love to hear it on social media. I'm on Instagram at JoshKGuitar. And obviously, please do find me on my website. There's a whole bunch of new stuff up there this week. So please go check it out. MusicMakerLessons.com. There's a link in the description. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.